it's a scam that's become so normalized that we don't even realize it's a scam anymore.
Your entire fucking life. 1 through 7, you're in a hypnotic state, getting taught the thoughts that your parents were thinking, usually like 30 years ago. And depending on where your parents are in life, that's probably where you're heading, because that's something called programming. If you're depressed, well, it's probably because your parents were depressed. And now you're going to go find depression. You're literally going to seek a depressed life because your parents had a depressed life, because that is the circuitry in your brain. Now, let's assume you went to a school and you learned a bunch of things. I bet you they made you read books that weren't really useful for your life. They didn't teach you the thoughts that you needed to be thinking. They taught you a bunch of nonsense. Like, I remember reading the book about Old Yeller. I didn't really learn shit about life reading that book, but apparently that was a book that we were supposed to read. And then the rest of the educational system, just kind of botched and useless. If you graduate high school, well, guess what? You either go ahead and create something of your own by failing and 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 finally getting it right, and then getting really right at it, and then getting really good at it, to the point where you're going to be able to teach other people at it. Or you ended up going to college, where you learned a bunch of information that really didn't make sense. To, like, the average conversation I have with a person that's also in the health and wellness field, it doesn't really make sense to me, because I'm like, you didn't read any of these books, and all the information you're talking about doesn't make sense. Like when somebody that says type 2 diabetes can't be reversed naturally, that makes no sense. It's just obviously a better monetary choice to give a person a surgery, because it's a hospital, where they feed you shit food, and then you get sick, then you go to the hospital, then they give you more drugs to make you feel better. Yeah, it's a little fucked up. So, biggest scam in our world is the entire life. Every single thing that we do is revolving around money. Guess what? You wear clothes. They probably costed money. You drive a car. That costs money. You have to have car insurance. Literally. Every single thing that I can possibly think of is a scam, so I can literally go on all day long. Like a sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin. Why does it have 92% of a daily value of cholesterol based on a 2,000 calorie diet, assuming that a woman doesn't eat 2,000 calories, that's more than 100% of her daily value of cholesterol, and it's going to oxidize her LDL and go to her brain and cause problems? A little weird. Anyways, what can you learn if you listen this far? Read a shit ton of books. Read so many goddamn books to the point that everybody that's in your life falls out of your life because they just don't get you anymore. Or actually, you don't get them because you're just confused why they complicate everything when things aren't complicated. People talk about the Matrix, right? I'm going to leave you with this one. We're in the fucking Matrix right now. Every single person that's watching a video online is in the damn Matrix. There is no leaving the fucking Matrix. It is a game that you're playing. We're all playing. It's called sounds that may or may not be valuable to your ears, and then using those sounds to interface your reality by looking at shit. It's not what you see, it's what you know about what you see, because that's how you feel. It's like when I look at a phone, I'm like, alright, I'm going to make a TikTok. I'm going to talk about some shit that may or may not be relevant to a person, and some people might listen to it. It's either going to change a person's life or not change their life, and that's my alarm to go off to make myself breathe, because I need to be reminding myself to be conscious. Because if you're not breathing, then you're not conscious. You ever notice that thing? How many breaths did you take in the past 30 seconds? You have no clue. How many times did I blink since watching this video? Probably 0. Read a shit ton of books. You want to change anything or not be scammed or screwed over in your life? Read a shit ton of books. Because you were taught a thought and you're thinking it now, and every single thing that we're taught is just how to be a good human being that doesn't change the world, that just shows up every day and does the same thing over and over. So follow this person.